If your plants look ugly, even though you're feeding them everything, you might not have a nutrient problem. You might have a pH problem. Your soil could have all the nutrients your plant needs, but your plant can't consume them because your soil is outside the ideal pH range. Instead of checking the pH, most growers assume it's deficiency, so they add more nutrients, and now, not only do you have a pH problem, you have excess nutrients. For gardening, most plants want a slightly acidic pH range, which is anywhere between 6 and 7. When your soil is outside this range, practically every main nutrient that a plant needs gets chemically locked out. Point is, even if your soil is fully loaded, your plants could still starve. Now, before we understand pH, we need to understand ppm. ppm stands for parts per million, and it's measured using a TDS meter. This measures the total dissolved solvents, which is basically how much nutrients, salts, and minerals are dissolved in your water. The higher the ppm, the more nutrients your solution has, and adding more nutrients will make your ppm go up proportionately. This metric is linear, so for example, here I have both these cups at an initial ppm of 100. I'm gonna add 20 milliliters of nutrients to the cup on the right and 10 milliliters to the cup on the left. After stirring and letting it stabilize, you'll see the cup on the left reaches 680 ppm and the cup on the right reaches 1180. When you subtract the initial 100, you have 580 ppm on the left and 1080 on the right, and since double the nutrients were added to the cup on the right, the final ppm is roughly double. This proves that this relationship is linear. Now, a huge mistake new growers make is following feed charts without knowing that their TDS meter is on a different scale. American and European meters use a different scale, similar to how US uses miles and Europe uses kilometers. Using the wrong scale will have you feeding the wrong amounts. Now, the truth is, all of these meters have a built-in calculation that's actually just converting EC to ppm. EC stands for electrical conductivity, but unlike ppm, it's a universal metric and it's the best way to verify what scale your meter is. To do so, just switch your meter to EC mode, bring your nutrients up to 1 EC, which is also 1000 microsiemens.
Microsiemens.
Bruh. Then switch to TDS mode and see what ppm is displayed. You'll see this meter on the left is on the 500 scale, while the meter on the right is on the 700. For all my feed charts, I'm using the 500 scale, and a quick tip to avoid any confusion is to simply use EC. Now, pH is where things get confusing. Instead of measuring nutrients, pH measures how acidic or basic something is. This measurement is anywhere between 0 and 14, and unlike EC and ppm, this doesn't change linearly, but logarithmically. This means that for every whole number that the pH changes, there's a 10 times a difference. Moving from a pH of 7 to 6 means that the solution is 10 times more acidic, whereas a pH from 7 to 5 is 100 times more acidic. Now here, we have a cup on the left with a ppm of 300 and the cup on the right at 200. Both of these cups have a pH of 6.3, but when I add the same exact amount of pH up to both cups, you'll see that the cup on the left went up to 7.3 pH, while the cup on the right went up to 7.6. The higher the ppm, the harder it is to move the pH, and this graph shows 6 different ppm solutions that had equal amounts of pH up added at each vertical line, and you could see lower ppms have more drastic changes. Now, organic soils and mycorrhizae also slow down pH drift, And temperature also has a slight effect on readings.
I have my hand here, and you can see it's 6.0 versus 5.9 just because it's warmer.
Regardless, for gardening, the most important thing to understand is that all plants have a preferred pH range, and if your soil or nutrients is outside this range, nutrients get locked out. What I find shocking is that out of 6 different soils I professionally lab tested, only 1 bag was within the ideal range for plants. This is why I stress the importance of balancing your pH before you start growing, and this alone can save 90% of your problems. Since there's so many factors that influence pH, I'm going to show you my foolproof way of balancing your soil using a sample size and some simple math. In this section, we're going to pH balance a 2 cubic foot bag of Happy Frog soil. First, dump it out and give it a good mix. Sometimes the soil will compress into chunks or have some white fuzzy stuff that you'll think is mold, but this is actually beneficial microbes. Just crush these chunks, stir the soil so that it's an even texture, and once mixed, I'm gonna take equal parts of water and soil and mix them together in a separate container. I'm using an 18-ounce solo cup, which when converted is exactly 32.5 cubic inches of soil. This figure is extremely important, so make sure you write down how much soil is in your slurry because we're gonna use that for our formula. I'm gonna give this slurry a good stir, let it sit overnight, give it a good stir again, and now I'm gonna measure both the pH and ppm. These pH meters have this glass probe that could easily scratch, and perlite is pretty coarse. Take some measures to protect it. As you could see, this soil is 853 ppm and 5.3 pH, which means it's outside my preferred grow zone of 5.8 to 6.5 pH. I'm gonna carefully add pH up to the slurry, a milliliter at a time, to try to get it around 6.2 pH. Luckily for me, it took exactly 1 milliliter of pH up, so I know to balance a solo cup's worth of soil, I'll need 1 milliliter of pH up, but how many solo cups are in 2 cubic feet of soil? The answer is approximately 106. So I'm gonna add 106 times 1 milliliter of pH up to my full 2 cubic feet of soil. I'll add this pH up to a gallon of water, then pour this into my soil and mix it thoroughly. And again, I'm gonna double check to verify that my calculations were correct. Now the soil is at 6.1 pH, which is perfectly in the center of my preferred grow zone. A video on how to maintain your soil's pH is linked on the top right. If you enjoy this content, like, subscribe, and hit that bell. For scientific references and links to products used in this video, check the description. And for the best tutorials on how to grow, check out my site, evigrows.com.